Welcome to Grechxr Talks. Today, we'll be diving into what this podcast is about. So, this is the start. I've been putting off starting this podcast for a long time because I'm not really sure my journey that I'm going to follow with it. So, bear with me because this is my first episode, but you guys need to see where this is going because I do have really ambitious plans for the future that I'll take with this podcast. And I want you guys to be the early ones to follow me to see where this goes. So today's topic is we're going to be talking about different segments regarding my personal brand and why I started this podcast and what the expectations are going to be for the future. So why Grechxr Talks? So me and my friend have been building our personal brands for about 4 months now. And it all really just started with an idea, with a vision of what we can be in a few years' time, knowing that that time is going to pass anyway. So we really just took that first step to just turn on the camera like this and just start recording and see what happens. So even in those 4 months, I've learned tremendous amounts about myself, about others, and about all these opportunities that surround us that you would never think that would be even offered to you until you start. So this topic is going to be about the Grechxr podcast and shifting into what this means for the future. So the purpose for Grechxr Talks would be hopefully having guests on the podcast and talking about contemporary issues, talking about stuff that happens in day-to-day life, trying to relate to that viewer, to you. And I just really want to bring my vision to life. And that vision isn't super clear yet, but I do have inspiration like the Joe Rogan podcast or people like Jun Hun or Mino Lee, which you can follow on Instagram. And those guys really, I look up to them. And they're a big reason in why I started this journey and why I would really like to build my personal brand so I could build all these connections and have all these opportunities at my fingertips. So now I'm going to tell you guys about my goals. So one of my goals for the future is to become financially independent so I could pursue my dream of traveling the world and documenting all my adventures and travels and, making friends around the world and seeing new experiences. Because as Christopher McCandless once said, the core of man's spirit comes from new experiences. And I'm actually reading that book in English, and it's really striking me. It's really impactful, and I really relate to him. Even though people could call him crazy and say that he died for a lost cause, a reason that wasn't worth dying for, I really believe in what Christopher McCandless did and what he said. So Christopher McCandless is a real inspiration for me. So what I was thinking is that people are just an amalgamation of just all those outside factors that play into who this person is. So all these experiences, all these thoughts, all these emotions that they feel are just an accumulation into one person, which could be you and is you, and that you are just a result of everything that has happened and your interpretation of how you see things. So that's one of my deeper thoughts. It's one that I feel like would be appropriate to share with you guys because you guys would now be my audience, and I gotta be open and share my ideas about the world. And that's how I feel that I'd build a connection with you guys. And if you guys have any ideas about what you guys want me to do in the future or any plans that you guys want me to follow on to, let me know in the comments for sure. I'm always open to people who would like to collaborate because that's one of my goals is to build connections with people that I would have never even known existed. And this is why I started this podcast and why I follow my dream about building my own personal brand. And shout out to Top Ambition and Hayden Hector. You could follow them on Instagram. He's one of my business partners from school. And he's one of the reasons, too, that I started this podcast. Because originally, this idea, going further back, almost 2 years ago, is just overhearing him in band class saying, I want to start dropshipping. And then from there, I'm like, wow, this guy has ambitious goals. And I really want to help him achieve his goals and at the same time pursue my own dreams. So the next section that we're going to be talking about is the power of just starting. So even if your plan or your goal isn't fully formed yet, that initial action, that first step of choosing to take action is the most powerful and integral step, because no matter if you plan as much as you plan, something always will be unexpected. Now, that's not to give you fear to not choose to pursue that goal, but it's to give you an idea of what you can experience on that journey there. But that first step is exactly that one step that you need to take in order to engage and then follow your dreams. And even though right now I don't really know what I'm going to say next, but I'm going along with it. And that's the thing, is that I realized too, because I've had this dream for a very long time, ever since I was young. And just now I'm really realizing I have to start. And that's the thing, even if you don't know what you're going to say, you have to just start pursuing your dream, whatever that may be for you, for me, for anyone you love. And something that really resonates with you, that could feel powerful for you, this is your sign to do that. And you guys will see me pursue that dream. And I know I will succeed. And that's the type of mentality you need to have, is that you succeeding on your dream isn't an if, it's a when. And if you really want that, you really have to go reach out and grab that. So the next segment, we'll be talking about what drives me. So this is a little more personalized to why I started my personal brand, what my goals are in the future. So what I really want to do is, as I said earlier, was to travel, to be financially free, exploration, and I also want to build a brand. I want to build something, that resonates with like a viewer. And even like when I watch my own videos, I get motivated by the work I've done in the past to keep going and making work that I'd look back into the future for. So for me, some of my goals would be financially independence. So that to me would mean not to be a millionaire, enough that I could travel wherever I want to, whenever I want to, and however I want to. And at that same time, I don't need a hotel. I don't need an Airbnb. I just want to be out there, like running across those fields of grass, hopping the trains, taking an adventure, not knowing where I sleep that night. Because that security of the modern life is not really what I want to have. What I want to have is that like life on foot, taking photos of those experiences and freezing those memories in a photograph. That's the type of life I want to pursue. And that's one of the reasons why I'm even filming this video, is because I believe that if I do this and I start pursuing my personal brand and chasing these goals, as I am just talking to you, that one day it'll lead me to live that life that I would want to. And I know it's an ever pursuing dream, and really it's the journey that counts more than the goal. But that's sort of like where I'm reaching for. That's my apple on the tree that I'm building a ladder to grab it to. So that's sort of what I want to achieve in life. So then the next segment, we'll be talking about the journey so far. I've started my personal brand, Grechxr. So you could follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And that's where I started this. This is where it slowly developed into me learning about myself. And in these past few months, I've developed and grown so much. My mind has just expanded, and seeing all these possibilities that I would have never known even been there. Now I'm just being able to pick up the phone and just start recording and making these videos and editing them in the CapCut, and just seeing that finished product is just a really amazing feeling. And I know that step by step, success will arrive. And I know also that growth is not linear, that it's less of a graph, it's not a straight line. So when I see my views just being stuck around 200 views, sometimes I get angry and I get upset, because I realize how much work I put into that, but it's not getting recognized. But I know that also I have to zoom out. You have to think at a broader perspective, at a broader time scale, because I was scared of that. I was scared of thinking in the terms of years, in the terms of months. But what I realized is that that time is going to pass anyway. And how quickly it was just winter, now it's almost spring, that time still passed. So as well, just start something that you could follow through, so that in these months, in these years, you look back and you'd be like, instead of saying, I wish I did, you get to say, I did, look at me now. So that's the feeling that pursuing your dreams sort of gets you. And that power of regret is something that I want to fight. That's the feeling that I don't want to have at the end of the day, when I'm struggling to fall asleep at night, thinking about all the things I could have done and planning for tomorrow, saying, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll just do this tomorrow. And just that action, going back to what I said earlier, is just that first step. That first step is so important. You really have to emphasize it. You have to ingrain it as concrete in a foundation of a house. That first step is integral to anything, whatever it may be. Even those people that you see like Mr. Beast or all these amazing creators, there was a day one. Because if there wasn't, they wouldn't be there. And no one would be there. Even those goals that you're thinking about in your life that you achieved or you're working to achieve, there was a day one. The next segment we're going to be talking about is looking ahead. This is about what the future is for Grechxr. In the future, what I want to do is grow my personal brand, talk to people, make connections, network. I want to just build an audience, an ideal viewer that could resonate and we could connect with, just like we're connecting right now. We'd build this connection over time, and you guys would see me pursuing my dreams and in my hopes to inspire you to do the same. And I'm actually working on building resources that would facilitate that learning, because really everyone that I see has something that I believe I don't have. But I have to sort of reframe that perspective to say, what do I don't have that they do? That gap that feels so insurmountable that you see that such a disparity between where they are and where you are. What I'm trying to do is bridge that gap for the average person like you and me to just pursue their dreams and feel like it is possible and not impossible. So that's one of my ambitions, is building a community where we could support each other, we could learn from each other, we'd have resources. And really, I do it my way. And it wouldn't be like everyone else's. It'd be unique. It'd be in the Grechxr name. In the future, it'd be just something that everyone could connect with. And I have such a big vision, and it's not even fully formed yet. But I know that it is possible, and that's exactly what I'm pursuing on doing right now. So, this is the first episode of Grechxr Talks. This is just the beginning. So, follow to see the journey, and follow to see where this leads, where this dream leads, where Grechxr will be taken in the next few years, few months, few weeks, even few days, who knows? Now, I know that there's that one goal that you have on your mind right now. Think about that. Close your eyes and think about that goal that you've been putting off doing because you feel like you're not ready, because you feel like you're lacking some information that you don't have, some preparation that you don't have. This is your sign. Just start. For my advice, if you guys want to build an account on social media, if you're scared of being judged, just create a new account and tell no one. And then all these viewers are just strangers that you'll get advice from, comments from, likes from, and you'd build a community. And from there, it'll just take off. And stuff sort of leads into another. And it's almost like a step in the fog. You don't see where you're going to land, but you know that step is going to be there. You have to believe that it will be there, because it will. And I believe in you to pursue your dream. So as a closing message, let this be your call to action to start that dream, to start pursuing whatever that may be. This is your sign. Just start. So, thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of the Grechxr podcast. Follow me on some social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to see where this journey goes. Hope you have a nice day.